Welcome to AIU Perspectives. I'm your host, Dan Rinkus. I'm standing here at PNC Park in the dugout, in fact, because while the AIU is headquartered in Homestead, we make connections all across Allegheny County. The team that plays here, the Pirates, were the first team to field an all-black and Latino lineup in the major leagues back in 1971. With that groundbreaking spirit in mind, the AIU gathered educators and experts here earlier this year to have crucial conversations. We'll tell you their stories as we round the bases here on AIU Perspectives. The AIU's annual Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Educators Conference was a transformative event at PNC Park that brought together people who are dedicated to fostering inclusive education environments.
It really is a very nice group of folks that have been brought together to engage in really important and, frankly, diverse conversations.
We learn why DEI is so much more than an acronym, how it gives everyone, no matter their background, a voice to create meaningful change.
How we work better with one another, it's how we integrate different people into our lives, how we make sure that everybody has a seat at the table.
Plus, we dive into the facts and figures of one of the AIU's key programs, training and consultation. How the hours spent by our educational specialists add up, making sure technical assistance and professional development are delivered to educators who support students with disabilities. But first, we'll take you to Duquesne, where an AIU employee is making a difference for our youngest learners and their families. It's late spring in Duquesne. These children are thrilled because they're graduating from the AIU's early childhood education program into kindergarten. The woman at the center of that transition, Sonia Gooden, is handing out backpacks she packed up. But as we found out a few days earlier, her work goes much further, setting up families for success as a Head Start family advocate and as president of the Duquesne City School District Board of Directors.
I believe in education. I believe in offering the children of this community education via Head Start or Duquesne City School District.
An education veteran of more than 20 years, Gooden has spent the last 18 as a Head Start family advocate for the AIU in Duquesne. It's a critical role at a critical age for children and their families.
Children could begin learning the socialization skills that are required. Also, just to interact with one another. Also believe that is important because it is that they get into the routine of, going to school and being around peers and having different routines throughout the day.
Gooden recruits families with children ages 3 to 5 into Head Start, performs home visits, and works with both students and their parents.
Locating the families, rolling them into the program. While they are in a program, have goal planning with them to help them move towards self-sufficiency or anything that they may feel that they need.
Gooden also spreads the word about the AIU and its programs throughout the community and delivers resources to families who may not know what's available. She helps during those vital moments when a child is separated from their parent during Learning Day, often for the first time.
Hello, Mr. Ramondo. How are you? Okay. Hi, how are you? How's everything?
With the classroom visit, I usually go in. They have story time. There's times that I go in and I move around with the children while they're, maybe playing around.
It's a vital role that we learned about firsthand, tagging along with Gooden as she visited classrooms in Duquesne.
Hat, does it rhyme? Does it rhyme? Cat, hat. In some of the classrooms, we talk about what decisions they've made, and we get a lot of hugs sometimes, a lot of distractions. Sometimes they may look and ask a question, and they were very happy with what songs they picked out.
Right, and you're doing things as simple as like tying shoelaces for a kid, or you mentioned opening juice boxes. It's it's a critical role, but it's a lot of small things that make up the bigger role that you play.
Yes, it is. With the teachers, we have 17 children. Again, they're all at different individual levels, and so while the teacher may be assisting one, the other teacher may be organizing the classroom. That's where I jump in to help with shoelace tying, or if someone needs a milk carton open or an extra juice, their silverware open. That's what I assist with.
While students settle down to learn and have fun, Gooden plans parent meetings where parents can learn from each other. What strategies work best, and how can parents sharpen their skills as teachers?
I've had parents who started off at a local parent meeting, who then progressed into being a representative of the policy council, and who now their child is attending this school district.
That district, Duquesne City Schools, is close to Gooden's heart. For nearly 2 decades, she has served on its school board, recently stepping up to serve as president.
She just believes in kids, and when you believe in kids, man, you're a hero in my book.
Gooden has the support and respect of Dr. Sue Mariani, the district superintendent. Dr. Mariani works alongside Gooden to make sure families are cared for.
So she really helps us connect some dots sometimes for some families who maybe are too embarrassed to ask for support or just don't want anyone to know their real story, but yet they're really hurting.
It is Gooden's dedication to improving the lives of others, servant leadership, that makes her vital to the success of both the AIU and the district.
She really embodies someone who is so grateful for everything.
As it turns out, dedication to education runs in the family.
Education can take you a long way. So, once I've got the opportunity after I graduated college to come to a district and actually help in a way, I felt like that was a great opportunity.
D'Angelo Mitchell is one of Gooden's 2 sons, both of whom work in education. Mitchell is the Duquesne athletic director and performs restorative practices in the district. As a single mother, Gooden instilled the importance of learning and resilience in her sons.
She always found a way, even when things aren't going how we expected it, she always found a way to, make it work.
These days, it doesn't hurt that D'Angelo's mom is downstairs working for the AIU in the same building where Duquesne City School District is housed.
Sometimes we get lunch together, so that's pretty cool.
Back in Sonia's office, she's packing up those backpacks, getting them ready for children who are eager for summer break and a little summer learning.
Sonia, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're doing here right now? Because we interviewed just a little while ago and you mentioned packing backpacks.
Yes.
So that's what you're doing, I guess.
Yes, each child within the program this year will receive a book bag. Some of the teachers had donated some things to their classroom for summer activities. Inside, we have a learning tool for the children to use at home during the summertime. We have some playthings for the children to create some things over the summertime. We also do a recruitment flyer.
Great.
For them to refer any other families if interested. During the end of the year recognition of the children, each child will receive a book bag. And so right now I'm packing this for each classroom, starting off with pre-Ks because their classroom is going to be the first end of the year recognition.
And how many students is that overall?
17 per classroom.
Per classroom. Okay.
Yes.
So a few
17,
dozen
18.
kids.
Yes, few dozen.
That's a lot of backpacks.
It is a lot of backpacks, yeah.
As Gooden prepares for the end of one school year and the start of the next one, the sense of pride in her work is palpable.
For young people to have the opportunity to flourish, to become themselves, to obtain the knowledge, to make them or to help them be productive citizens. And it's just a joy to be a part of that.
Sonia Gooden shows that education can be a pathway to success as a parent providing for their children.
Education can take you to levels you thought you couldn't reach.
And as a respected member of the educational community.
More people could learn from people like Sonia.
Way to go. Good job.
It's time for AIU Facts and Figures, where we bring depth to the facts and figures behind the people and programs of the Allegheny Intermediate Unit. Training and Consultation, or TAC, is a key spoke in the AIU's wheel of educational services, providing technical assistance and professional development at no cost to educators who support students with disabilities. It's a mission that TAC executes through 45 to 50 free professional learning opportunities per year at the AIU. Those opportunities add up. During the last school year, TAC offered 455 hours of professional learning. That's more than 56 8-hour days. TAC also customized 550 professional learning sessions. That's more than 1,700 hours of skills building for local teachers, paraprofessionals, and administrators at their schools. All those hours spent learning make a huge difference for children who have disabilities such as autism, students who have visual impairments, or those who require behavioral support. To learn more about the offerings of training and consultation, check out its section under Professional Growth on our website, aiu3.net. While the first pitch of the Pittsburgh Pirates season is weeks away, PNC Park is buzzing with the ideas and initiative of local educators. The Allegheny Intermediate Unit brought its annual Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Educators Conference to the North Shore in March, gathering more than 100 local educators and experts from across the region and the country.
The idea of teaching diversity really is just teaching students about the world, giving them experiences that they might not otherwise have.
The conference, now in its third year, was spearheaded by Michael Jones, the AIU's Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Jones came to the AIU in 2021, and the conference was a natural development. He found that while many educators were headed in the same direction,
I learned that everybody was at a different place in terms of their knowledge about different communities and different people, but they all wanted to kind of continue learning.
Jones championed the conference with the notion that understanding one another's differences can unite educators instead of driving them apart. It can be the difference between the success or failure of a student and of a teacher.
How we work better with one another, it's how we integrate different people into our lives, how we make sure that everybody has a seat at the table.
One of the teachers who embraced the mission of the conference was Deshauna Wisniewski. A second grade teacher at Wyland Elementary in the Hampton Township School District, she was acutely aware of the differences between herself, her classmates, and her teachers when she was younger.
Growing up, I've always had predominantly white teachers, and all of those white teachers taught us like we were all white students. And I never felt like my sense of identity was honored. And it took a while for my sense of identity to develop as a Black woman and what that looked like in the world.
Wisniewski felt her culture was consigned to just one month, Black History Month in February, and that being Black was only mentioned in the context of slavery.
Black people are more than just people who are enslaved. They are more than just that time in history. In fact, our history goes before that time.
Now that she's an educator and a parent, she's taking the lessons she learned as a student and making sure the next generation has the benefit of her lived experience. The book Hair Love, an award-winning book by Matthew Cherry about the relationship between a Black father, his daughter, and her hair, is a prime example of how Wisniewski can change her students' lives.
And it made my student, who is also Black, she's biracial, she felt encouraged to wear her hair in braids because she felt like she could be herself. And she's in 5th grade now, and I actually asked her, I said, what is a book that I read that you loved? And she said it was Hair Love because I felt seen. Like I felt like it was okay for me to have my hair.
While stories like Wisniewski's are heartening, they are still the exception. Taking a culturally responsive approach to staffing schools is a key remedy.
One of the most important things we can do is allow our students to have access to teachers and staff that look like them.
Lauren Patterson is a regional partnerships manager for Bloom Board, a Pittsburgh-based firm that develops teaching talent for school districts.
And if you look back historically, we had a very significant loss of our Black teachers and administrators after Brown versus Board of Education. And so over time, the desegregation happened for students. It was intended to happen for teachers and administrators as well, and it didn't.
Bloom Board is working with Point Park University and the AIU as part of the AIU's Bridge Up program. It helps paraprofessionals with an associate's degree grow into certified special education teachers by helping them earn a bachelor's degree. These kinds of partnerships are critical in attracting and growing diverse teaching talent.
It really is a very nice group of folks that have been brought together to engage in really important and frankly diverse conversations even within the sessions.
One of those educators is Bobby Eastwood, assistant principal of Avonworth Elementary School. He has seen the transition of diversity, equity, and inclusion from a box-checking exercise to an effort that his fellow educators have embraced.
Because it's going to enhance your instructional practice. I think that the notion that we're just teachers, we just teach, or we're just leaders, we just lead, is sort of a mindset of the past.
Through keynote addresses and interactive lectures, participants developed and refined their strategies for making their classrooms more inclusive, welcoming spaces for all students. They are lessons that will help educators and their students develop new ways of seeing.
So we talk a lot about windows and mirrors are opportunities for students to see themselves, and windows give students opportunities to peer into others' lives that they might not have experienced themselves.
This gathering is breaking a cycle that trapped past educators and students, allowing them to spin a new story.
Having these conferences and having educators of all colors come together and learn and grow is so beneficial for our students who feel like they're not seen.
We can't thank PNC Park and the Pirates enough for playing host to our conference and to AIU Perspectives. It's a sports haven and a true community asset. That's going to do it for this episode. New episodes will drop in the fall and in the spring. And you can also help us out by liking and subscribing to our AIU YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.